Okay, you are now live.
Thank you.
So Sam, I guess you're the chair tonight.
All right. I'm trying to figure out, I've never done screen share, so give me a second.
So let's see here. If you wiggle your mouse down the bottom, there should be one that says screen share. And if you click on it, then you have to choose which of the screens on your computer to share.
All right, it's getting there.
Yep.
All right, 1 second, I have to grant it access.
I'm not having much luck sending a email because I had all the information in the Durham, Maine.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll just go down the list, get as much done as we can and call it a night.
Sounds good.
Sound good? All right, so we're still on water here. We've got prepare and distribute education pamphlets on best management practices for erosion and sedimentation controls, stormwater management, non-point source pollution, and invasive species.
Yeah, I think I volunteered for that.
Okay.
Is that the old version? You don't have the updated?
I have some edits in here, maybe. Nope, I have the original.
Maybe I should just go, I'm going to give up on trying to contact Zach. I can go to my email and
Was that not where we left off, Roberta?
no, I'm just thinking that since
No, we had gone
Joe
through
had,
a few
yeah.
lines and written down names for who was gonna kind of spearhead it.
Yeah, those are off to the right. I saw those when Samantha moved over to the right.
Okay, so you think that is the updated one?
It said it had the edits on it. It's the one she sent out.
Oh, okay, sorry. That was a
It's okay.
distraction then.
All right, so why don't we just hop down to recreation because we know we didn't do those, and then
Sure.
we can fill in. So, oh, and this actually ties in perfectly with Kit's plan that she worked on. So develop a comprehensive open space plan for the community that evaluates the potential for expanding protected open space in the town. This plan should assess the value of open space for a range of benefits, including recreation use, retention of scenic views, wildlife habitat, protection of groundwater, protection of the quality of surface waters, including runaround pond.
So yeah, it starts with river, but it goes into that specifically. It doesn't talk about expanding it or anything with runaround pond. So I think that this is almost like the plan above the one that we started way back in the beginning.
Right, that would encompass all the spaces.
Right, and maybe even how to add more spaces to it if that's ever something that we could think of doing with fundraising or something.
Well, didn't Joe show us a map at one point of some parcels around town?
Alex made a map and sent it to all of us, where he just placed a boundary around all of the parcels that are owned by the town. Because I had started to go through and do it informally on the Google Earth tools, but Alex had a mapping software that he used that he provided it for us.
Yep.
And was that the one where we were talking about doing something over on off of Day Road with putting in maybe a nature trail that's down there with some local information about ducks and what the marshy area?
I believe
That was
so.
last fall. I think it maybe,
For
Was
me, I
this-
wasn't part of that conversation.
yeah, I think maybe,
That
I
sounds like a
remember
great idea.
Zach was very excited by it.
Well, a comprehensive open space plan would just be mapping. I think a lot of it would be just mapping what we have. But does that include, I mean, there's privately owned land that's open space.
Right.
You know,
It would say in the town, not necessarily owned by the town.
Right, because then you're just mapping what large open space areas that there are. I mean, that's a, Google map project or, something else with layers from the state.
Well, presumably something like that already exists for
That's
the
what
town,
I'm thinking.
town properties.
Who came up with this original list of to-do things here? Because-
Juliet and Zach pulled it from the comprehensive plan.
Yeah, because like they're at this like at a state level, open space means something specific. Like there's a tax benefit for having open space, similar to like tree growth tax so I don't know if that's what this is referencing to.
Yeah, because that could be confusing if we're just say if we use a loose definition and then it turns out, people come and say, oh, there's tax write-offs for open space plans. You said I'm on the open space.
Yeah, like it says like according to the state, it says like what is open space? Land that is preserved or restricted in use to provide a public benefit in any of the following areas. Conserving scenic resources, enhancing public recreation opportunities, promoting game management, and preserving wildlife or wildlife habitat.
I think it sounds like we need clarification on that one from, well, originally, wasn't there a comprehensive plan committee that got together?
Yeah, and I think Juliet was on that, right? Was on that committee.
So maybe she can address that, how that came about, because that is a little, I think that does need clarification.
Well, even so, if we were to focus on spaces owned by the town, that could keep us plenty busy for, a while.
Yeah, I just added in the chat a link to what I was just reading there.
Yeah.
My interpretation might be woefully, inaccurate, is that this is kind of us figuring out actually like coming up with management strategies for the land that the town owns. So if you scroll down a little further, you'll see open space there.
Yeah.
It's about preserved or restricted in use to provide public benefit. And then there's a slew of benefits, which honestly align perfectly with what we do, to do with public recreation and scenic resources and game management and stuff like that, which just makes me think that maybe that, to-do line is referring to something that's more akin to the language we see right here.
Yeah.
Which is like something that I think we had talked about 2 or 3 meetings ago. I think Roberta and I had kind of spitballed about just like, making a management plan for the parcels that we have. So like I've creeped on a couple of the parcels. For example, there's one over on Royalsboro Road that is like prime wood duck habitat, you know. So
Oh,
something we could do is make wood duck boxes and put them out there. Make sure that there's no invasive species growing in the wetland there, you know. And kind of stuff like that is what I think it's referring to, but I might be completely wrong.
Is that, Joe, was that town owned or was that privately owned?
Town owned.
Town owned, okay.
Yeah, because Alex had pulled that map together and I kind of like drove around town a few times and like just checked out some of the town owned properties, what I see for birds and plants and stuff like that. And I think that we have some pretty cool parcels that could definitely be managed in a way akin to what they're saying here on this page in open space, you know.
Yep.
And then there's some programs I think that become available, at least for private landowners, with like the state if you're managing like that. And I'm not sure what would be available for like municipalities.
you know what it doesn't say there? It says benefits recognized include, I mean, I guess you could say wildlife habitat does it, but it should say something, the services that, the ecological services that the land provides.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just being there, it's providing services. So even if it's not good for, you know, public access, it's still valuable.
Right. And that's just their choice of language in that. And,
Yeah.
you know, we could define it as something different.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on that one.
So I
Yeah.
think this one needs to be a full team. This is a big one.
I
That's a
think,
big one,
so. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of, to me, this is kind of the whole meat and potatoes of the Conservation Commission.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sums it up right there.
I'm happy to take a first stab at the plan but I would love everyone to give lots of feedback. I know that there wasn't a lot of changes to the river plan, but I think this one we can really make sure, like, especially with Joe's experience and Roberta with invasives and things like that, we can put a lot of information in there. But I also don't want to get too big and overwhelm ourselves.
I know. I mean,
You know, so I'm happy to take this one and start one, but I definitely want this to kind of be everyone so that we can all provide some feedback and make sure we're in the right place with it.
Yeah.
and Kit, were you thinking of, you're going to start with the town-owned land, you said?
Yes, definitely. I'm not comfortable working into privately held land yet. I think we should start with what we have unless others feel differently. You know, maybe it just, I feel a little out of my league with working with privately owned land.
Well, in between River Park and Runaround Pond, that could keep us busy for, you know, quite a bit.
Right, and
Then
that
you-
space we talked about on Day Road, and then there's the Royalsboro piece that Joe was just mentioning, and
And you have that map that
Mhm.
Alex.
Okay, so in looking to the next one, I know that probably the Royal River Conservation Trust has a plan or some sort of structured, you know, document for Runaround Pond. So it might be redundant to work on something like that.
I don't know that they do.
No?
So, you know, a couple years back, 4 or 5 years back, you know, Alan had come to us and talked about updating certain things, and he had updated the sign.
Mhm.
We had updated the vault toilet through the state, and then he had, Alan had also updated where those bollards are on the other side, because there was this broken gate there at the time. And I think he updated something else too, but I don't know what it was. But, and then we've had several other updates over the years. There's the new fencing on the side by the dam, which is actually pretty nice. And there's a kiosk. That's the other thing that Alan had done, the kiosk. There's a little working library that probably needs a little TLC. There's no clasp on it so people have been putting this piece of wood with a nail in it to keep it closed. And I think actually, frankly, that's a little dangerous. And then there's a couple of, what do you call them? Picnic tables. And I know that there's also a project in the works to put up another pavilion like the one at River Park at Runaround Pond Park. And then also the Royal River people, they went in and they made trails. So when I started in Durham, there weren't any significantly noticeable trails on the other side of the road.
Right.
And so they went through and they made those. But the idea was always that the town would take over that, because the town really has responsibility for upkeep of Runaround Pond Park. And so I think that Alan is really looking for us to take ownership and move forward with it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So that's for runaround.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we should take a field trip and go out there and see what needs to be done with the trails, at least.
Lovely. I actually went down there not too long ago to put up some hand sanitizer stations, and there were tons of people there, and most of them had canoes, and it looked like a lot of them were duck hunting.
Yeah, we went canoeing there last week, I think. It was beautiful. The colors were gorgeous
Okay.
and no one was there. It was great.
Yeah, the colors around Runaround Pond are amazing.
Yeah, once you turn that corner, there's like, it feels very remote.
And a lot of that land too, if you look at the Royal River Conservation maps, the land to the west, north a little bit is conservation that they have. I don't know whether they put it in conservation or whether they actually own some of the land. And then of course, Steve Sinisi's farm is some of it is in conservation as well to them, so.
Right. And then as far as, you know, the other part of that, where it says exploring with landowners and such to preserve open space, I know that Royal River and also Androscoggin Land Trust, they have their own, I believe, maps of priority areas to concentrate on. So if they have any in Durham on their radar, I mean, you know,
Really,
you can talk to them about that.
Yeah, I know that Alan has his eyes open for any type of property that either is going up for sale or, you know, he tries to talk to landowners to try and get easements on their properties. I don't know, Shelley has left ALT, and so I haven't been contacted or know the person who took over for her, so that's kind of another question mark.
I wonder, maybe I should get in touch with someone at ALT and ask them if they have any areas of open space on their radar for preservation. And I would just try to keep the communication very limited to that, because I feel like, you know, there's a lot we could be doing with the land trust, but just as a little, you know, stick my feet in the water, just kind of ask them what, you know, if they had anything in mind.
Well, I also think, especially with the ALT, so they are the ones that hold the easement on the River Park.
Right.
And so we need to work with them when we want to upgrade the park and make sure that
Right.
they approve of any of the upgrades.
Right. Anyways, yeah, and I was thinking about that the other day. Did the Boy Scouts or who got their okay on the gazebo?
Yeah, so actually Shelley was the one who put it forth. So she had been in touch with the person who was from Green, and they had been looking to do it in Green, but something went awry. And so she contacted us and said, hey, look, you know, we think
Oh,
River Park would be a wonderful place for this. Do you guys think that's okay? And we said, yeah, of course.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought it was a local thing. What's Shelley's last name? You said she's gone, but
Yeah, Krasinski or something like that. I have old
okay.
emails from her, so I can find her name.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. It's not important. It's just if I wanted to reference her. That's okay.
It's Maine. We just, Shelley.
Yeah, they'll know who I'm talking about.
So would it be worth reaching out to Alan to see if he has any sort of outline of a plan, or you're pretty certain that he doesn't have anything?
I'm
like
pretty
that?
certain that he wants to just hand it over to the town. So I think that
Sure.
he
Okay.
would like us to upkeep the trails that exist.
Mhm.
There's not a ton of space for additional trails, but any other kind of upkeep or improvements to the park that the town is interested in doing. I don't know, I think advertising and making sure people know it's there, but beyond that, I'm not really sure that there's a ton of stuff other than just making sure that leaves and stuff, and the workers, the public works does go down and like empty the trash and do stuff like that.
Mhm.
And the kiosk is pretty up to date. I was just there with the COVID stuff, hanging COVID stuff up and doing the other stuff. But yeah, just making sure that the trails are there and that people are familiar with the area, and that it's, we've had issues over the years of people using it for not family-oriented activities. Just trying to make sure that people use it so that those type of activities aren't as prevalent.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it in the priority line, it should be a high priority. That the least we can do is maintain the trails that other people have
Built for us.
built for us.
I absolutely love these trails too.
What's that?
Okay.
They're really lovely trails.
Yeah.
I'll ensure that's in the open space plan. So if Samantha, you want to put us all there and then just say
Sure.
that I'll start the initial. That way we can have it documented, because
I think maybe I can't edit this,
oh no.
but
Yeah.
I can mess around with it after.
Okay, yeah,
All
I'll
right.
I'll take better notes then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what
just-
line is that? 14?
Now,
Yep.
Sam, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So the gardens, you were talking about the gardening before we started the meeting, and
Yep.
the gardens that not run around Pond, River Park need, a work day so that we can look at what's there and make sure that I assume that they just overwinter.
Yeah, I think most of it's perennials and or aggressive saplings and weeds that could come out.
Okay.
We should, yeah. It'd be nice to do a field day soon.
Yeah.
Now that,
Go out and take a walk at the parks.
yeah. Maybe we can coordinate that.
That actually might be a really interesting idea, have the group actually meet at one of the parks, and then we can go to the other park and just walk around, and because I think when you're looking at it and you're actually there, it's kind of, it's more, you notice more, so you might be able to see
Yeah.
things that need to be done.
Yeah, we've tried it a couple of times. It seems to be a struggle to get us all in one place with everything going on.
Herding cats.
well, it gets dark so early now.
I
But
think
Yeah.
we need to just kind of make a date, and then hopefully at least some people will show up.
yeah, if we had even 2 people show up, that seems valuable.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Should we try to set a date? It's just the 3 of us on the commission here.
4. 'Cause-
Oh, 4. I wasn't counting me, actually.
Oh,
I'm looking at the faces.
I think the 4 of you just pick a date and we let everybody else know and hope that they can come.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my calendar.
I mean, it wouldn't take more than half an hour one morning, just walk around.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been working on the CIP program too this year. And as a placeholder, I had put in for 2022 a vault toilet at the River Park.
Yay!
Don't get too excited. Yeah, just a placeholder.
That's okay. A placeholder is a start.
One step closer to a toilet.
Right. A placeholder is a start.
We might want to start looking into the idea of, if there are grants out there that would help us to pay for that. They're not horrendously expensive, but I mean, if you could maybe even get a half, 50.
Sure. Potty grant.
Yeah, that would be a good way to get it approved.
Where would you even start looking for grants for something like that?
Boy, that's
I
a good
would look
question.
into a sanitation grant or something. I don't
Or
know.
just like expanding recreational opportunities. Like
Yeah.
you can kind of put that
Yeah,
spin
because
on it.
it's very easy. I could easily make an argument that having a permanent outhouse there would provide the ability for people to stay longer and do more
Absolutely.
Yes.
and enjoy the gazebo. So,
Yes,
Right.
bathrooms are good.
Yep.
All right. I will I'll do some grant research on that and see what I find.
Great. Thanks.
Mhm.
There's also, so we as a town belong to GPCOG, which is the Greater Portland Council of Governments.
Okay.
So you can go on their website and they have grant areas, and then it's not even like you need to be a member necessarily, but you,
Okay.
you can Google that, and they have grant writers down there, which you might be able to pick some of their brains, but
Sure.
we do belong, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll be an advantage.
I'll check that out.
ADCOG too, we're not a member of them. That's the Androscoggin Valley Council of Governments too. They've really stepped up their work lately. I've gotten a lot of emails from them. And so you might want to take a look at their website as well and see if they have anything. They are the ones, if we ever go forward with the Emerson dump, then they're the ones that we would probably go through for the Brownsfield grant.
Well, actually, no. I don't know.
If we
Cool.
would.
Oh yeah, I thought we could talk about that too before we're
Oh,
done.
did you get a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I did. I checked that email and looked at the photos and stuff.
Okay. Do you understand any of the numbers, Sam?
On a basic level.
I was wondering if maybe Joe, he's not paying attention. Oh. Do you have more of an understanding of what some of the numbers from the Emerson dump are?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, you didn't. So if you look at those numbers, it's not something that you have any knowledge about?
No, that's out of my.
Where are the numbers? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So I had emailed you guys some of the paperwork from the Emerson dump, and they had done some tests back when they had taken the tires off of the property. And there's numbers about different things that are on the property, but to me, I read it and it's gobbledygook. So I was hoping, and maybe some of the other people have some knowledge, that somebody was more adept at chemistry and knew what these things were.
Oh, that was an attachment. That's why. Maybe I didn't open the attachment because I saw
Yeah,
that.
it was. I took a look at it, and having the normals there is good, but I don't know how I don't know what constitutes, wow, this is really bad, and yeah, that's not great, and this is dangerous, and that's
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
yeah.
Exactly it. And
Like
I'm
the
the same way, Kim.
conductivity, I don't know what that means, how bad that is.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Ruth, did you get the email I sent you, which had some information about who to contact about that? And it,
Yes, was
Yeah.
it your husband?
yes.
Yes, I did get that email.
Because you could always reach out to, I think his name's Randy at the DEP.
I've talked to Randy. I
Yeah.
actually don't know if he's there anymore. I talked to him several years ago,
Oh, yeah.
and he was getting towards, I think, the end of his tenure there, but
Yeah, I'll ask Stephen. I thought he was still there.
he may still be there. I really haven't had the chance to contact him lately, and
But I guess the suggestion was to see about brownfields coming down, the brownfields program, and having them do an evaluation, which they would do for free. And I think they would look at all this information you have and have maybe recommendations.
we had thought about that consideration. The issue is that it's an orphaned landfill, so nobody really technically has ownership of it. And so
Oh,
who gives the okay for them to go ahead and do any of that?
oh, okay. And then if the town says okay, then it's almost like, oh, you own this property, which
Yes,
you don't
exactly.
want to.
We don't want to foreclose on the property because we don't want the liability, but I'm wondering if we could
Right.
get a court to give us stewardship so that we don't have the liability and the ownership of the property,
Oh,
but we have the right to send the Brownsfield people in to actually take a look at it.
oh, who would know about stewardship? Does that means you have to consult a lawyer?
Yeah, well, maybe that's something that we're gonna have to run by our town lawyer.
Because it seemed like a solar array or something there
I think, yeah,
would be ideal, because then, I mean, there's maintenance people that, you know, you would worry about them having exposure, but if you had like brownfields do some type of remediation, it wouldn't be a playground, but it'd be good, maybe good enough for a solar array.
yeah.
So am I reading this right? This sample's from 1989.
You are
Yeah.
doing that right,
Yep.
yes.
Would it be worth getting, like, what if it's way worse now than it was then?
Well, see, that's the issue, Sam.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but I feel like I'm going around in circles because
Right.
nobody owns it. So who's the one that gives the okay for
For anything. Yeah.
anybody to do anything?
When does it become, does it ever become, like, where you say that nobody owns it, does it ever become, no, like, legally, anybody could claim it? And I know we don't want to claim it, but if
You
nobody
mean, like,
owns
after
it,
a certain
couldn't
amount
the
of
town
time?
take a peek at it without it becoming like a legal thing?
I don't know. So we still assess taxes on it, and we still lien it every year. And every year we also waive the foreclosure on it because we don't want the responsibility.
Right.
John Emerson had two sons. Larry has passed away recently.
Yeah.
I don't know about his brother. So they've never gone through the courts to claim ownership of the property. And the state lists it as an orphan landfill. So, I've gone around in circles a couple times with this, and I just, I don't really know how you would go about getting everything done that you need to do without taking on the liability. That's why I was looking at some of the old paperwork, and at one point there was a stewardship. And I think it was the town that took stewardship way back when, to help Larry, to help his John Emerson close it down. And I'm wondering if that's something that would be available to us again.
It does sound like that's a legal discussion and not something that I know I could feel comfortable saying anything about.
No, and unfortunately that's the case for most people, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because it sounds like it has so many ramifications that we need a specialist who would be able to help.
Yep.
So maybe the intent would be to have a little extra money in the budget for some time to hire a specialist to help us with it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I have no clue how much that would cost. I don't know what that kind of specialist would charge for an hour.
Does anyone have any lawyer friends who would?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, it sounds like lawyer is.
Just to even ask them a question about, you know.
I do have a friend who's an environmental lawyer. I can see if has any feedback. He's been retired for a while, but I can't imagine that would make a difference.
Yeah,
That would be great.
Yeah, I can ask him.
just pick his brain.
Yeah.
You know, just explain that, you know, it's an old dump. It's been there for many, many years, even before, yeah, that's picture of the tires. And all the tires have been removed, but nobody really knows what may or may not be buried there. I mean, it's possible that it's not as bad as we think, but you know, just the possibility is
This is
frightening.
insane. There's so many.
It's like, you know, people told me that there were millions of tires that were removed from that, and I thought they were exaggerating. They were
Right.
not. They
No.
were not
Wow.
exaggerating.
And weren't they on fire at one point?
Yes, there was a fire.
Yeah.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues with it. Eventually, they took all of those tires and they shredded them, and a lot of them are at the airport down in Portland.
Huh.
Nice.
Yeah, so they used them.
I wonder if they did get them all out, because it depends on how far you dug.
Well, isn't it more like the chemicals that you worry about that have leached in?
Yeah, I'm more worried about what may or may not have been buried there at one point.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that this is a long-term where we're going to have to really look at the different aspects of it and the legal aspects of it, and just make sure that while we're doing this, we don't open the town up to any kind of liability.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for that, you are going to need a specialist to help navigate those, that water.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Anyone else have any comments, questions, concerns?
No, just that it definitely is long-term, but I mean, I think it'd be wonderful to reclaim all that land. And I mean, the thought of having, to me, solar there
Yeah. Seems like a
would
viable.
just be
First thought that came to my mind.
perfect. Yeah.
Sorry, Joe, what was it you had?
Oh, I was just saying the same thing as Roberta. The first thought that came to my mind is maybe potential for solar at some point.
I'm going to give Ruth credit for that, because she had that among
I mean,
us.
really, it's not like that could ever be farmed. It's not
Right.
like you'd ever want to
Yeah, and I know,
people hanging out there.
it's not uncommon to put solar on capped landfills because, like
Yeah.
you said,
Yep.
Samantha, it's like there's nothing else you can really do with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to spend that much time there.
Yep. I like the idea of transforming a scar on the earth into something that's actually providing useful services.
Definitely. This will be the before picture, and then we'll have a nice.
Yeah.
After
Oh, I
picture.
like that, Sam.
And it's a lot of land. It's about 50 acres.
Wow.
Boy.
Where is it located again?
Old Brunswick Road.
The dump road.
Is that right as the road forks?
Yes.
Okay. On
Yep.
Quaker Meeting House.
Quaker Meeting House, you go down there past the farm, and before you come out to Royalsboro.
Yep.
It's on the
It's
right.
on your right. Right. The last time I went down there, it's right before Larry Emerson's junkyard. And it has a fence going out into the field, and the fence is actually posted.
Yep.
This is the farm, right? This is
That's
not.
the farm, yeah.
Yep, got to keep going.
Which
There,
is
yeah, that way. There it is.
like talk about having
That's it right there.
overgrazed land.
Okay, so no tires.
Nope. I It's a wonderful piece of land. I would love to see it used for something.
Yeah,
If it was clean enough, it looks like it'd be fun for an ATV park, a
You know,
dirt bike park.
right. The only problem with that is you're, aggressively taking aggressive tires to the soil, and it is
Yeah.
going on everything. So,
That's why I said if it was clean enough, yeah,
oh, yeah,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny you say that,
it
actually,
would be,
because
I feel.
there was a gentleman at one time that came to the office, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to purchase the land and
Yeah,
put ATV trails on it, but he was never able to figure out who to talk to about purchasing the land. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, because otherwise, I can see it.
Too bad the town hadn't foreclosed and could sell it right to him.
yeah, well, I had that thought, and I actually called our lawyer Jack, and I said, well, could we just do this? And he said no.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
Oh, well. With all those legal people getting in the way. Good
I know.
ideas.
No, he was horrified by the suggestion.
yeah, yeah. We can see why. All right, where are we?
We good? We want to keep going through that list, or would we rather do that with Zach and Juliet?
I like going through the list. It just feels a little odd doing it with, only the four of us,
Yeah.
especially because they kind of pulled it together. And I
Right.
know that last time they were like, oh, this is what we had in mind for this and that, so.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Maybe you guys could set a date to meet at the parks, and then hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Sundays are the best day for me.
Sundays work for me.
yep.
I could do Sunday, but I'd have to scoot out to work at like 8:30, but I could do the morning.
At
8:30 a.m. or p.m.?
a.m. you have to leave.
Yeah, like I could say like 8 to 8:30 or something.
What time do you work too, Sam?
I do 9 to 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 would be too.
But I could go in late too. That's totally fine.
Or we could meet at 6.
By 6, it's going to be dark.
Pretty dark, yeah.
We're out of, we have 1 week left, and then it's already dark at 6. So
Mhm.
I was really
it's going
just.
to be really dark at 6 pretty soon.
What do people think?
So what is it we're looking for? Because I hate to say it, we've done this several times and nothing has come from it. So
Well,
Yeah.
I think. Well,
what
I
do
think
we
it'd be.
want to do?
I think it'd be good to meet at Runaround at those trails and take a look at those. And
Okay.
the other thing at the River Park, we were talking about just making decisions about the garden, I guess.
Right. So when you and I met there last time, Roberta, I think that we weren't really able to do much because nobody else was able to make it that day.
Right.
And
So it seems to me that it would be interesting to walk the trails and see what ideas people have about the upkeep of the trails. I know that sometimes the trees kind of fall over the trails, or there is some sort of, stuff in the way, or maybe even extending certain trails, or ideas about, maybe places to picnic halfway. I mean, they're not really big trails, but if you could put a picnic table halfway through the trail, it might be fun to do that kind of thing. And then also in River Park, there's a couple of places where you could probably use some bridges. There's a washout area, I don't know, about maybe 100 feet to the towards Auburn from the house. And so maybe making plans for the spring about what kind of upkeep things that you want, and then making a date where you can bring people in with chainsaws and rakes and trimmers and that kind of thing. That's what I foresee.
Yeah, I think one of the mistakes we made last time is I think we made the time to meet kind of far out, like weeks after our meeting, and
Mhm.
people just, yeah, they either forgot, it just wasn't on their radar. I mean, if we maybe went this
weekend, which with the dark, we better hurry up and
Well, yeah, why don't we just go Sunday morning then?
I can't do this one. Sorry.
This is one Sunday I
okay.
can't do.
this Sunday.
Unfortunately, sometimes I need weeks out. That's the hard part.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
How about November
Fair, that's
1st?
fair.
Sunday, the
First,
1st, are we on?
next one.
And daylight savings time ends, so we're falling back.
That Sunday.
That's Sunday. So if we say that we were gonna meet at 8:00, it'll be
Okay.
7:00.
No, it'll be
It'll be
like,
light out.
So it's gonna be dark then? Like at 8? No,
No.
be dark. At
No, the sun comes up early. The sun is up pretty early.
Yeah, so you gain an hour in the morning.
Yeah.
8. Okay, of daylight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, personally, even 8 is like tough for me.
You guys, you
But
could
I'll
also
say
go
8 if everyone
without me.
wants to do it. What? Sorry.
You could also go without me. Like, don't make it about me if Sunday morning works.
Well, certainly if we're going to talk about the gardens.
I could also
Yeah,
go down
Going to
there.
Run Around Pond, we won't be talking about. There's no gardens at Run Around Pond. And we've done River Park several times. We've gone through and talked, and we have
Yeah.
some plans there. We just weren't able to execute this year because
Yeah.
of COVID and not being able to get there for the runoff and that sort of thing. So I do think if we do Run Around Pond, there won't be the gardens to talk about because there's really,
No.
I can't imagine. I mean, maybe a couple of flowers around the sign, but everything else is
No,
so
so
shaded
shaded
and
there.
rocky.
Dead. Yeah.
That's,
So, yeah, how about we just meet at 8:00 on the 1st at Runaround?
Works for me.
And we got to get the word out to the
Yeah,
others.
I'll send out an email to everyone and see
Okay.
if they can come. Say, if you can, great. If you can't, so be it.
Who's alternative? Were we going to get the Durham email
Yeah.
server?
I gotta get you guys back. It's just a matter now of getting you updated passwords. So that's really what I need to do. So if you guys want to call me, if you can, during office hours, either tomorrow or early next week, I can get you back on the server.
Okay, so we have to call you to get back on the server and then send out an email about that?
Well, I've been sending emails to personal emails. So I can send out an email to all of your personal emails. And then as you can, contact me and we'll get you back on the server.
Okay.
Works for me.
Okay.
Did any of you guys get bad emails that you know of?
I didn't.
I did.
No.
Well, most of the emails are from 2019. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no, I didn't get anything like that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Nasty.
All right. We all good?
We're good. We
Okay.
made
all right.
a
Meeting adjourned.
decision. We have a plan.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
tough,
good.
tough with only the 4 of us.
That's all right. We'll
Cool.
force them.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
See you later.
Guys,
Bye. Good to see everyone.
bye.
Bye.